Alright, welcome to our lecture on Kickstarter vs Indiegogo. This is an epic battle between these two crowdfunding giants. The reason we are only comparing these two is because they are the biggest two platforms to help projects get funded through crowdfunding. There are over 2,000 platforms nowadays, so the competition out there is ripe. But today, we're just going to be comparing these two, so you can figure out which one is best for you. This is a big decision that could potentially make or break your campaign. So in this lecture, I'll go through the most important variables to consider and what you need to know about Kickstarter and Indiegogo to make sure you get it right the first time. Points you need to consider while choosing. So let's start with what your project is. If you have a tech-based product, you are pretty safe on both platforms, as they are the best performing and very validating. I would definitely lean towards Kickstarter if you have all the other boxes ticked below. If you have a non-tech product, Kickstarter would be great, but you have to make sure they will accept your project. Up to 30% of projects get denied because Kickstarter are extremely firm about what type of projects they accept. This means there are no projects on there that are unbelievable or skeptical, making it near impossible to create a false project or a scam, as some may say. This goes a long way to ease the minds of backers, as they have trusted Kickstarter to look long and hard into each project. As for Indiegogo, there are no rules really whatsoever, which means there is a lot of what the heck projects on there. Therefore, people do not see the same validity. Now, as the odds are favouring Kickstarter, you need to determine what you want from your campaign. Are you looking for mass funding? Well, Kickstarter has far more direct traffic and is normally around 4 times that of Indiegogo. Or are you looking for brand awareness? Both platforms will do this. Obviously, the larger traffic site, Kickstarter, will get you more brand awareness, but Indiegogo can spread this further around the world as more people use it from remote countries. Or are you looking to sell to retailers or wanting to sell in bulk? So this is a great benefit of Indiegogo. There is no limit on the amount of products an individual backer can get, so you can do retailer packages. This is where they look for bulk goods and is a great way to raise a large sum of money through only one perk. Kickstarter will not let you sell more than 10 products to one person. What the heck, I know. So who is your target market? Find your target market and do a little research into what other products are like yours on the platform. If you can't find any in the same category on Kickstarter, then they most likely will not take your product. They have very strict categories, and even if you have an amazing idea and it's its own category, they don't veer from their strict policy, unfortunately. Where will you be launching your product? Okay, this is a big deciding factor into which one you go for. If you are in the US and launching a campaign as a US citizen, you'll have no problem. If you are a non-US citizen and want to launch a product on Kickstarter from the US, it is near impossible. But we do know how to do that. It is a long process, so if you want us to talk you through it, we can. Just send us a quick email. But generally, depending on the country, if you are not in one of these listed below, Australia, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, the United Kingdom, or the USA, Kickstarter is not the one for you. Indiegogo, on the other hand, has over 224 countries that it is available in, so that may be the best option. Now, how badly do you need the money? One of the main differences that they hold is that Kickstarter has only an all or nothing model, where if you don't get funded, you get nothing. This helps when getting backers to back you and your project as a whole, because at the end of the day, if you don't get funded, no one will see your product. So that gives it a bit more urgency. On the other hand, Indiegogo has an option for all or nothing and an option for flexible funding. This enables you to take whatever money is raised, even if your goal is not met. Tread with caution here, guys. Although this may sound great and no risk, it is actually quite a lot more risk if you do not have your finances sorted. Having this as your goal states that you will fulfill your backers with whatever you are offering them, even if your goal is not met. You need to make sure that you can cover all of these costs, or you will have some very angry backers coming at you. The payments. Kickstarter will take 5%, with another 3% going to the payment processor. Indiegogo will take 4%, with 3 to 5% payment processor. Unless you are doing flexible funding, as I talked about before. That will be a whopping 9% if you don't get funded, with 3 to 5% payment fee on top of that. This is also why you should tread carefully into the flexible funding. One thing that is a lot more favourable with Indiegogo in this regard is that you can sync your PayPal account with your project, which allows any backer the option to choose their own account to pay. Few more differences. Kickstarter will not let you do a campaign that someone does not get something at the end of it. This means no charity funding, no fund my dream vacation, whereas Indiegogo allows all of these. Kickstarter is much better for outreach, as it has more credibility for media and bloggers. This will make your outreach a lot easier. The percentages. 43.4% of projects on Kickstarter get funded, whereas only a measly 9.8% do on Indiegogo. One of the most appealing aspects of Indiegogo is that you can put your project in demand after you're successful. This means you can keep getting backers and also keep outreaching. In Demand effectively acts as your pre-order store, and as long as it is open and new backers pledge to your account, you will keep receiving funds. These get distributed in 4-week cycles once it is in demand. This is not possible with Kickstarter. However, a project that was funded on Kickstarter can change onto the Indiegogo platform to open up an in-demand page. The downside to this is that you will have to start driving traffic and awareness from scratch. So, the key takeaways, what have we taken away from this one? Both platforms have their benefits, and you just need to choose which one will be best fit for you and your product. I think the main 5 deciding points are: what your project is going to be. If it is creation that Kickstarter will not accept, then you have an easy decision. Go with Indiegogo. Which country you're campaigning in? If you're not in one of the countries listed above, easy decision. Go with Indiegogo. All or nothing or flexible funding. Remember, tread carefully with flexible funding. As we talked about before, you may end up worse off than you started. If you want to do bulk orders, Indiegogo will be your choice for this one, as Kickstarter does not sell any more than 10 products at once. In demand. This can be hugely valuable as you can keep the traffic going to the same place. I think you should have a fair idea of which way you are leaning towards. If you're still confused, make sure you address all the points above and send us your project. We'll then help you decide on which one of these we think is best for you.